Hey Jay, welcome. Welcome back to Dragon Wars, a game about dragons and possibly war, possibly dragons at war or war against the dragons. I'm not sure. We haven't seen any dragons yet. They've been mentioned in the backstory where apparently a bunch of the people who were on the boat we came in with got sacrificed to the dragons, but we did not, and we did not see them, at least not on screen. Anyway, we're here in the city of Purgatory. And, our overall goal, apparently, is to get revenge on Namtar, the beast from the pit, who cast us into this wretched place, uh, stripped of our gear and possessions, to die in this refuse pit, this open air prison. And we want to get back at him for that. And also, I guess maybe he's just a bit of a tyrant who should be taken down, but that's long-term goal. Our immediate goal is to just get out of this place. And we've been doing that. Yesterday I spent a few hours mapping out the city of Purgatory, and I've actually already found two completely separate, independent ways out of the city. My map here. So here's the city of Purgatory. A few areas not mapped in quite yet. But let's see. Go up here to the slave market. You can sell yourself into bondage and get purchased by Master Mog, who sends you to work in his mines. And that's not a game over. You continue playing in the mines, and presumably you can find a way to escape from there. Is that better than trying to escape from city? I I don't know, but you can do it. You can also go down here to the morgue, and if you have the hide skill, you can hide yourself in a bag of corpses, at which point some people come and throw you over the wall into the harbor. And then you just like swim to shore and you're right outside of a slave camp. Is that Master Mog's slave camp? I don't know. But you're like right outside of a slave camp, which is presumably right outside of the city because they just tossed you over the wall. And you can do something. Continue investigating, look around, I guess. That's way two. Let's see. We have leads on a couple of other ways out of the city too. Like we found secret passageways into the city walls, here and over here. And according to rumor, there is a secret way from the walls out into the countryside. That's way three. Let's see. Way four is there's the arena, the Colosseum, up here in the north, for which the prize, if you win, is apparently citizenship papers. If you have the citizenship papers, perhaps they just let you walk out the front door because hey, you're not a prisoner here anymore. You're a citizen of this place that's outside the walls. So presumably that's way four. And speaking of the front gate, you can probably also just beat up the gate guards. If you're strong enough, just beat up the guards. Leave, walk out. They can't stop you. So, five? Are we at five now? Let's see. There's also this portal here to the Underworld. It probably connects to someplace else. It's probably sort of like a shortcut fast travel type system. That's what it seems like to me. So, if you offer up something to the statue, the goddess of the underworld, and then walk out through here, now that I have a light spell, I would be able to see. So, hey, I can just go through there, walk out, pop out somewhere else, probably. That's what, way six? So, if there's anything else it hasn't occurred to me yet. But we're looking at probably like six separate paths out of Purgatory here. It's pretty impressive for a game of this. Program am I using? This is Grid Cartographer. You can get it on Steam or just directly from the creator's webpage. There's a free version, which is fine for just mapping, and then there's also a paid version, which is more useful for like game creators, people who are like designing maps. It has a lot of like 3D features. But the free version is perfectly good if for all you're doing is like mapping out games and stuff. Let's see what else. There's also this suspicious void in the middle of the map. Well, middle in the map here. which I suspect is probably the prison because there's a group of like 6 jail keepers right here. They're always here, and it's always the same encounter. I suspect that the entrance is, where they're standing. So, I'll probably also try to beat these guys up and get into the jail, see what's in here. Maybe more companions, maybe some interesting loot. You know what? So far, we got, like last time, we beat up a giant up in this corner here, and the king of the slums gave us 1,000 gold for doing so, which, was a pretty good start on my equipment. Everyone has at least basic gear now, which is nice. So yeah, I've got things to do. I'm probably going to start by mapping the walls, seeing what's here, seeing if I can find the exit that's out here. And then, I'll try and win the arena fight. I'll try and beat up these jail guards. I'll probably see if I can beat up the gate guards. And I'll explore the underworld if we have time. We'll see how long this takes. For now, I guess, head over to one of those. Actually, let's head over to the store here and see if I can upgrade anyone's equipment. I have a bit of money. Ulrich here has 136 gold. Well, I can't buy him the good armor. I would want scale armor for him, ideally. He has leather. I could get him Brigadine, but I'm gonna get him. Currently has a hand axe. So let's get him a battle axe. He has proficiency in axes. He'll be a little more useful. And he is an NPC who joined us after the game started, but he's leveling up, so he's not close or anything. I'll hold on to the hand axe because maybe I can just offer it up to that goddess, the goddess of the underworld, and she'll be happy enough with that to not curse me or anything. This is the, yeah. There's that entrance to the walls again. Here it is. Behind the main city wall, freedom is so close, yet so far. Interesting thing about in here is that you'll be fighting more like guards, more soldiers, and they drop money. The main reason I want to do this first, that I can hopefully make a bit more money so I can buy better armor. And that'll hopefully let me survive the fights against jail guards and the Colosseum guys. Outlanders behind the wall, a guard sneers. The sentence is death. One guard. Went down pretty fast. So yeah, this seems like a pretty natural place to go if the encounters aren't going to be terribly difficult. Giving me this message again? I don't know why. There's no passage into the walls from here. just north of the Colosseum. Not exactly well patrolled back here. Here we are. I should bandage Cheetah. We're on. This was the other entrance to the wall here. Should put us next to Magic Shop, yeah. Oh, here we are. We found it. Stone walls of Purgatory stand as a monument to shattered lives and broken dreams. We can go back in. Not done here quite yet. one at the very bottom here. One thing I'm curious about is the map outside the city is going to be contiguous with the interior map. Like if you go outside and then like walk around the walls, is it going to be the same size as inside the walls, or is it sort of abstracted down? It's just like a little mini city. Like the cities in Bard's Tale 2 and 3 were like that. Guard. Yep. The section of the wall or the harbor. Yeah. Gate. We are right on the other side of that. Okay. Does open up a little bit here. There's a gap in the city wall. Far below, you see the water of the harbor through which you entered this dreaded isle. Is freedom from purgatory worth a long dive into what might be shallow water, then a desperate swim through the harbor? You feel lucky? Okay, so apparently we can, in addition to going through that secret door in on the other side to outside the city, we can apparently down and into the water. Well, I guess I would just walk into the wall here, probably. Let me save. not. Do I have to use a skill? Maybe. Let me see how this works. That uses skill, ability, climb. Party climbs through the wall and dives into the cold waters of the sea. Yep. Okay. And yes, this leaves me here, and it's like contiguous with the map. I can see the rest of the map on here. Okay, so can I climb back in? That didn't do any good. Here is cold and rough. Only a good swimmer has a chance out here. Luckily, my party can all swim. If I keep going this way, am I actually getting further away? Apparently. Leave Purgatory, yes. Okay, and it brings me to here. This is the place where I washed up on shore in Dilmun by the slave camps. Healing fountain here. And this heads into slave camp. Okay. So that's an additional way out of Purgatory. I can dive into the water from inside the city walls and winds up in the same place where if I had hid with the corpses and just gotten thrown into the harbor. Okay. Okay. Let's reload. I'm not quite ready to commit to this yet, but it's good to know. It's good to know. And I guess if I beat up the gate guards, I would also just wind up in the city walls here. Reload here. All right. Here we are. And while we're here, here's this square. Okay, so the guards are upset to see pop out behind them, understandably so. Let's fight. They're too far away to fight me right now. Let's cast spells. Let's put luck people. Too far away to fight, but let's attack them in case they come into range. Charm, I believe, increases your chance to hit. Disarm the guard as well. Doing okay. Well, we were doing okay, and then they got into range, and now we're not doing so okay. Down to one guard and also 6 pikemen. Nope, got rid of all the guards. Cheetah doesn't have enough magic power anymore. Okay. Mass, combat, disarm. We actually got 100 XP and 17 gold for getting beaten up. And we get tossed back down the way they came. They tell us to get back into the city walls. You know what? That actually might be worth keeping anyways. I can go back and hit up the magic pool. It's a fair bit of money, fair bit of experience. I think that's worth doing. And I did better in that fight than I thought I would. I didn't whiff it. All right, let's see. Back to mapping the walls, and then I'll go heal. I can actually just go ahead and bandage right now. Way too many button presses for everything. Skill, ability, bandage. Okay. That spot where I can get out of the wall too. All right. That's the city walls explored. Honestly, that took less time than I thought it would. Map. Okay. Head to the magic pool. Heal everyone up to map. Do I have? No. Yeah, okay. I know where I am. Bandaging is much more effective than casting healing spells, but you can only bandage once every time you've been damaged. Oh, it's not really useful for getting up to full. Okay. So what's next? What's next? Actually found two more ways out of the city instead of just one there. I guess I want to go and see if I can beat up those jail guards next. How much money do I have now? 121. Not quite enough to buy another set of scale mail. Here's the jail keepers. Fight. Arm them. On Muscles. Muscles already had luck. Whatever. Arm on. Cast. All right, we've gotten two of them down. Disarm is actually a really good. Hey, we won. 33 gold is not half bad. What? Solid. Now, how do I get in here then? Okay, so there's no way in here, apparently. Hey, this is the slave market. That would make more sense. I go into the slave market and then is there a way to like back out of that? Just go on a rampage? There is. Ulrich, buy armor, Gale armor. Okay. I have a couple of items that I can maybe offer up to the goddess. Dragonstone on someone too, don't I? Yeah. Deb have again. Wonder if my casters Brigadine armor leather. Anyway, bandage. Okay. Well, the jail guards are done. Store my points. And I guess the next thing to do is see if I can beat up the gladiators and get some citizenship papers. Sheriff. Yeah, I will enter the arena. Um, oh, gladiators 50 feet away. Fight. Harm them. Got 2 of them so far. Only 2 left. Very nice. Peter got stunned, but that's fine. Last gladiator is putting up a bit of a fight. There we go. 156 XP. Leveled up. Stand above the dead remains of your opponents, basking in glory as the crowd chants your name. You have given us a spectacular battle, and as the law decrees, you are now citizens of Purgatory, exclaims the game's master. Oh, citizens of Purgatory. That's not as good a reward as I thought it would be. But I have citizenship papers now. Shh. Yep, yeah, I have citizenship papers. Let's equip them. Okay, great. Does everyone have them? No, we have the one copy. That's fine. Well, we beat the gladiator fight. Can't get into that building, which I guess is probably the slave market. Maybe the guards won't hassle us so much anymore. They only enter once. That's fine. I can't add the rest of the arena to my map, my mini-map. We didn't get any money from that, but I guess that's fine. Should heal. Do anything? What do you mean it didn't do anything? Okay, I guess I have to heal with magic. It's forever. Okay. And oh, paragraph 9. I can do to the statue. Not use strength on it. Can I fist fight it? No. All right. Now, if I have these citizenship papers, will they just let me walk out? Purgatory. No, they will not just let me walk out. What do these citizenship papers of Purgatory do for me? Not like I really want to be citizen of this place. Maybe they would have helped me with the king of the city over there. Maybe. See if they help me with the tavern or something. Anyone want to volunteer? No. Secret hatch within the southwest tower leading to freedom. Sure was. Wrong man can swim to safety through the harbor. Yep. Pay your respects to Irkala if you plan to enter her realm. I don't think there's anything here. One about the guy who's impressed by magic. Magician in the slave camp who is impressed by magic. Okay. Then in mind, yeah, slave camp. I've seen the slave camp. I've been the place we can go. Now let's, I guess the next place to go, any thing to investigate. Underworld. There again. Statue. And let's, I want to offer something up to her. Uh, that Dragonstone number. Let's try offering that. Yes. Dragonstone. Ricala is 94. Yeah, I read 4. Let's, yes. Okay, I can see. So, this is the Underworld. Where exactly do I show up? I mean, I guess I will put it to the same location, the same point. I don't know if they're going to be contiguous. This with little exits. north and south. The Magan Underworld, in fact. Alright, so let's go. Okay, I can wade through the water. Or no, it pushes me back on shore. I wonder if I have a higher swim skill. Would it let me go through that? Like, is this me failing a check? Could be. Wonder. Worth checking. Actually, I have skill points. Everyone a second point. Cave Lore 2. Ulrich is behind. Have another town lore. .2 points. Let's see. I have 2 points. Arcane. Fine. Plus 2 points. Well, have some strength. Have any lore. Have some viewer. No. Okay. Well, if you need or swim skill, more than I currently have. The light spell does not last very long. Time is ticking by relatively quick. Okay. Fairy warriors are doubly tough in their own realm. 5 serpent warriors appear. Can we just like talk to these guys? No? Okay. How tough are these serpent warriors? Pretty tough. Okay, this place may be a little too tough for me currently. I haven't beat any of them. Okay. Well, everyone got stunned. And, again, they didn't actually kill us or anything. Flash. But they did beat us up pretty soundly. So, maybe we're not quite ready for the underworld. Go figure. Big open. Mind you, the encounter rate is low. Barely did anything. Tile. Big open cave here, huh? I should run away from. Pretty generous about letting you run. Well, light keeps going out. 4 points. Right, I gave Cheetah another point in. Or an Underworld. It's not all that hostile. Maybe it would be worse if I hadn't offered up something to the goddess. Ice. Ice there is helping me out. Gaily spitting terrors your day, one spitting snake, and also two more spitting snakes. I guess I might as well try fighting them. Not great. I must reload. Don't have any more arrows. I guess I'm gonna have to buy more arrows. These snakes are pretty rough too. Reload. Still got 24 XP for that. Let's see. Oh, there's here. I are here, like just water. Please. There's here. That column so far, but run away. Yes. Take me. An irregular shaft leads into the bowels of the earth. It sure does. Okay, so these bring me to Tar's ruins. Okay, so can I go down? Okay, so I can climb down the shaft and get back into the underworld from here. Can't light again. Okay, so yes, this is in fact another way out of Purgatory. I can find other exits from the underworld that lead to other places. Apparently the Tar's ruins are one of them. I imagine there's quite a few exits from here if you just look around enough and find them. Hmm. Okay. Okay. I mean, I could continue exploring the Magon underworld, but I mean, probably fine. Now that I've confirmed that these serve as an exit from Purgatory, let's just go back up here. No. Attic. Okay. Just beat up some other guys. Okay. Bandits are really up a fight. Okay. You know, you don't have to fight me, innocent man. All right. Let's. I suppose I want to pick up some more arrows. or my archer made. I feel like maybe all the net encounters reset while I was off the map. Probably what happened. Yeah, these guys are back. Up once. One Jill left, not bad. All right. Yes, if you leave the map and then come back, all the encounters that are like set encounters on a given tile will spawn. You know, it doesn't save all that, but it does keep it in local, I guess, while you're still on the map. All right. Jill, money. Anything I want to sell? My arrow. Like 2 stacks, I guess, for now. Probably enough. 226 left, which is not enough to buy scale mail. But I could maybe buy Brigadine for both my casters. Be an upgrade. Let's see if he can equip it. Sure, he can. Good. Arrows as well. All that leather armor. Brigade. Got a bow that he doesn't really use. Cheetah. 5 armor. Gideon. Okay. Not half bad. Charge my magic. Erlich leveled up. The give him a point. Up with. Okay, and now I guess the decision is, what way out of the city do we take? Completed map of Purgatory. There's this way out here, just walk out through the walls, and dive down into the harbor from here, and swim to shore outside the slave camp. You can hide in the corpses here, and get tossed over the wall into the harbor and swim to the shore outside the slave camp. You can sell yourself into slavery here and wind up in the mines, which are possibly behind the slave camp. It feels like probably you wind up around the slave camp, no matter what you do. Except also you can go down into the underworld here and wind up possibly in quite a few different places, including possibly the slave camp. I think I'll probably just go out the walls here and see what's around. I could also potentially like swim around the harbor. It probably wind up in the same area either way. Walk out here and then go to the water and swim out to the slave camp. Probably what happens. But yeah, for now, let's go out here and see what we have in the area. Like how much more area is there around here that we can? I guess that's what I want to find out. Go up this down to here, I guess. How are these guys here? I mean, I guess the secret passage isn't all that big a secret. Here we are. Stone walls of Purgatory stand as a monument to shattered lives and broken dreams. How far can I go around this? Leave Purgatory? So not far at all. But you can walk around the wall. Okay. Any hidden outside here? You never know. Probably not. Not even any enemies out here. Have the harbor. Where? Purgatory. No. Cold and rough. Only a good swimmer has a chance out here. finish filling that in. There's nothing else here. Okay, so what happens if I leave direction? I wind up here. Okay. Wind up by Dilmun. Now a separate map. So either way, you wind up in Dilmun, with the exception of, if I guess if you sell yourself into slavery, maybe you don't. Tempting as it is to find out. 5 guards. Look, boys, training time. Why do these guys want to fight me? I don't know. They're pretty strong. Okay. Okay. Here, enter Purgatory. Sure. Okay, so here's this guy. Dilmun. Here's the entrance to Purgatory. Okay. Well, we know where both the exits come out then. I don't know if there's any absolute positions, but let's just start the map here. It starts down at the bottom edge. Oh. This here is like a fountain. Flash. Okay. I can't swim in these. Like the fact that I'm a very good swimmer, apparently. Enter the slave camp? No. Okay, yes. For you is a camp. A crowd of ragtag warriors gathers before you. One of the warriors approaches. He is malnourished and dressed in rags. His hands shake as they tighten on the shaft of his spear. We don't want any trouble, he says, uncertainly. Why don't you turn around and head back to Purgatory? Maybe. Warriors are waiting for you to leave. Okay. And this is not contiguous with that other map. Better we should die than be made slaves again. The slaves attack. 10 escaped slaves and 10 at 10 feet, and 2 old gladiators appear. Can we? think we. Why are we fighting them? I mean, we can just run away, but we can't just like say, hey, maybe we don't need to fight. Yes. Leave camp. How do I get back up onto the other side over there? Can I? I can't just wade across this. I have to enter the slave camp. Uh, like aside from going into this tree here, exit back to Purgatory. But I can't swim back to Purgatory from here, apparently. You would think that it would be here, but they're not. A little annoying. I'm sure there's another exit back into Dilmun from the slave camp. I guess we will have to find it. I'm going to go ahead and save here. Fine. Turn around and head on back to Purgatory. I'm afraid that I'm in the wrong spot. Head back to Purgatory camp, in which we're going to be murdering a ton of escaped slaves for no real reason. Like, absolutely no reason for this. I can't get on to area. Let me enter from the other side, onto the other side. I guess I have to go find another exit. All right. I turn around and go south. I guess I'm on the southern edge. Just all along the south. I southern edge of this wall like this. Better we should die than be made slaves again. The slaves attack. That's, we don't need to be. We can just say, hey, we're not going to be fighting you. We don't want to fight you. We don't want to enslave you. Just but no, we're actually just going to murder. They're trying to run away. We don't care. We're not the good guys here. They're trying to run away. We're just attacking them. Why not? Here's some old gladiators. Sure, I mean, of course we're gonna murder these guys. Oh, they do some. Paragraph 18. Uh-huh. Gonna make me feel bad for murdering a bunch of escaped slaves. I hope so. The camp is deserted. Apparently everyone who lived here was slain in your recent battle. You notice signs of habitation, but whoever lived here was dirt poor. It's unlikely you'll find anything of worth in the camp. Glancing back at the pile of bodies left in your wake and then at the colic scene of the camp, since there was probably a better way of handling the situation. The man who confronted you seemed a lot like yourself. Maybe he mistook you for authority from Purgatory, and only sought to defend himself. This was probably a time for words rather than swords. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Hey, you know what? I have the bureaucracy. I, that's what that's supposed to be for. Let's let's quit and reload. All right. Let's reload. Yes. There was in fact a way to talk to them. You have to use the bureaucracy skill. Continue. Yes. Use who has it? Is it Dilendil? Skill, ability, not lore? No. Okay, it's knowledge. From the looks of things, this camp is populated by escaped outlanders such as yourselves. You tell the warrior you've escaped from Purgatory and that you him no harm. He senses the truth of your words and welcomes you to the camp. Okay, so you can in fact use your words, and you just have to go into your skill menu and find where bureaucracy is. And tell the escaped slaves, hey, it's okay, I'm not actually here to capture you. Or camp. There's a 2 more. All right. Dory. What's in this? Here you find several recent escapees from Purgatory. Unlike the other denizens of this camp, some of them look like they might wish to continue their adventures in Dilmun and ask for volunteers. This brave soul wishes to join up. It's Louis. Must avenge ourselves against Namtar for what he has done to us. I'm honored to join you. Thanks, Louis. No one else wants to join. What does Louis have going on for him? Party member number 6. All right, let's strength 14, dex 16, int 16, spirit 16. Very average person. No equipment at all. I kind of wish I had kept some of my stuff. Okay. What do you have for skills? 2 hiding, 2 pickpocketing. So he's a uh, untrained rogue, let's say. Have any magic skills? All right. Well, Louis, maybe you'll be useful. You can get you some equipment, some. Have any skill points? All right. Label this as a tavern. It's not actually a tavern, but I'm going to label it as one. Root. 2. The wall. Someone looks at you from within the stone building. Well, well. How dare they? How dare they look? Fine. All right, who's looking at me from within the stone building? An old wizard bars your path. My home is off limits, friend, he says. You're free to go anywhere else you wish, but please respect my privacy. All right. Well, there is apparently a guy who is impressed by magic. Let's cast Mage Light. My home is off limits, friend. You're free to go anywhere else you respect my privacy. Supposed to be impressed by magic here. Cast Mage Fire. Seemed to work. What spell does he cast? Charm. Seemed to work. Lesser heal. Cast Light to heal. Work. He wants some more impressive magic. All right. So there's a wizard in here. Can I use my IQ? No. Or no. No. Um, my Oh, here we go. So you're a student of magic. They're dangerous days to be casting spells. Only an enemy of Namtar would be so bold. The old man stands aside and motions you to enter the building. Okay, so I had to use my magic skill, not cast a spell. I've been waiting for someone to show a little guts around here. Go on through to the back, and you'll find some weapons. It's not much, but it's all I can offer. Okay, so mark this. Okay. Wizard seems to have been hoarding many things. Muscles, papers, ruby dagger, war axe, war flail. He definitely wants that war flail, doesn't he? White arrow, spear, chain armor. Hello? Firelight, dragon stone, chain armor, maybe? Is that better or worse than scale armor? Um, Louis, you don't have anything, do you? Um, Louis, grab a polearm. Grab a Seb, grab the paper. Grab the arrow. Cheetah, grab that ruby dagger. Dragon stones. A couple of them. Seb, grab the firelight, I guess. Ulrich, grab the war axe. Okay. The little one by one room. It has a bunch of loot. All right. Thanks. Thanks, guy. Actually useful. Is there any indication of there's any like actual doubt on it? Flail, war flail. Okay, so flail does 1d6, war flail does 1d12. War flail. Armor. Cloth armor, brigandine scale. Chain is 7 as opposed to 6. It has -3 to attack value instead of -2. Yeah. Scale armor. Let's trade that down to Theb. Yeah, the hammer counts as a mace for efficiency. It's 1d10. Not bad. Or it's 12 strength, whatever. Okay. Dagger counts as a sword for efficiency purposes, I guess. Is that right? Axes, flails, two-handers, bows, crossbows, thrown weapons. Okay, yeah. So maces, so daggers just count as sword. Cheetah. Flip that ruby dagger instead of dagger. Got two go. Okay, so yeah, 30 regular left and 10 white arrows. 3 dragon stones, which is nice. I'm kind of surprised that they separate flails out from maces. Axes, flails, mace, swords, and then two-handers. What's in the two-hander? Polearm, great sword, magic sword, grand sword, mountain sword, holy lance, heavy sword, and dragons. Okay, so what do I have? Hammer that I can equip. Put this war axe over the battle axe, I'm sure better. Battle axe, war axe. Actually, is it better? It just has -3 to the attack value instead of -1. Battle axe, but more damage? Maybe it does more attacks or something. I'll equip it. It's worth more money. It's worth like 10 times the amount of money. It's got to be better, right? Feb. Got Brigandine on. Currently attack 6, defense 6, right? And armor class 4. If I equip scale armor, it's now attack 5, defense 6, armor class 6. Trade that down to loot. See. Broadsword. I can find a hook or a fire sword or a few upgrades. Broadsword's okay. Citizenship papers. Got 2 people with citizenship papers now. To Louis. Maybe you can attack from the back row with a polearm. I want spear or polearm. Okay, apparently spear is a thrown weapon. Well, and hey, look at that. All right, all right. How's that for you? Save my game after that. You hear someone singing. Oh, nice. Paragraph 68. Okay. Or 68. The door to this hut is open, and from within you hear someone singing. Entering the hut, you see a simple room. A pile of straw serves as a bed, while a candle burns on a large rock that passes as a table. Behind the rock, you see a sad man who seems very old. eyes are empty sockets and both his hands have been amputated at the wrist. You wonder why a blind man burns candles when he's alone. The man stops singing and swings his head in your direction when you enter. You must be the outsiders everyone's so excited about, he says with a firm voice. I can smell Purgatory on you. Please come in. I'd like to see some new faces. Provided I could see. Learn the man's name is Carson, sorcerer at the Temple of the Sun in Phobos. That was before Namtar rose from the pit, says Carson, pausing to spit. Damn underworld types should stay in their own world. Wow, racist. You talk with Carson well into the evening, pumping him for information. That Namtar is either a demon or a man. Wow, one of those two things. Carson seems to use the terms interchangeably. About a year ago, Namtar appeared at the court of King Drake in Kingsholm and was welcomed as a court magician. Within a year, Kingsholm had mobilized and began making war on its neighbors. At the same time, Namtar announced a general ban on magic in his secret police, Strasstrupen, to enforce the ban. Great magical war ensued. Namtar and the Strasstrupen won handily. Now sorcery is all but dead in Dilmun, Carson could. Take a look at me. 10 years learning sun magic, and it leads to this. All the old masters are gone. Lanaktur was finally driven over the edge and shattered into a score of pieces. Daton exiled to the deep wilderness. And Mistelvision. Carson is silent for a long time, then says, I can't prove it, but I always thought Mistelvision was wrapped up with Namtar, the high priest at the Temple of the Sun. Our order fell to Namtar so quickly. Must have been betrayed. Beware of Mistelvision. Talk with Carson late into the night, but learn little else of value. He's either unwilling or unable to teach you any magic. His advice, you take your leave of the old man. All right, so we've learned that perhaps Mistelvision is a traitor. Sold out the Order of Sun Magic, and that's why Sun Magic is still allowed and still practiced and still, open. It's because it's under Namtar's thumb. Okay, okay. Got Carson here. 8. We've found a locked chest. Unlock the chest. Well, Theb is the one who with skills. Louis also has. Theb opens the chest. Salute. Well, okay. We got a healing, a cloak arcane, sense traps, scare, leather armor, brigadine, chain armor. Okay. Some of these seem like spells. So let's cheetah, scare, or trap. Landil, scare, arcane, and the healing. I imagine that's a healing potion. Let's. Erlich can have the chain armor. Can have Dean armors and the leather armors. Right. Well, we found another cache of nice. Okay, so trade card, a little minus sign behind it. Cheetah. Traps. Can't use the sense traps. So spell, I'm pretty sure it's a spell for maybe a magic that he can't access yet. Eye magic. And Cheetah has sun and druid magic, but not. Let me spell list. Okay. So low magic is Mage Fire, Charm, Lesser Heal, Charm, Luck, and Mage Light. I have all of those. High magic, Firelight, Elvar's Fire, Vortex, Ice Chill, Big Chill, Dazzle, Mystic Knight, Heal Glamour, Cowardice, Born Scarred, Salus Swift, Group Healing, Sense Traps, Cloak Arcane. Okay, Cloak Arcane is a spell, not a gear. Traps, Cloak Arcane, Summon, Water Summon, Fire Summon, Gare. Gare is Druid Magic. Okay, okay, fine. Lendil. Okay, so healing is a spell score. Okay, good. Can't learn Scare. Scare's Druid. Scare is going to Cheetah. General Review. Bluey. Okay, J. Trade to Cheetah. Good. Cheetah. Trap. Trade to Let. Traps. For you to learn. Cheetah. Burn. Scare. Okay. That's quite a bit. Go look at these spells here. And Scare. Cast it at the right time. It's a combat spell. Improve your party's ability in the eyes of your foes. So +2 to attack value for the entire party for the duration of combat. Costs 4 power. Okay, it's okay. All I got. High magic. I got healing. Heals for 1 to 6 HP. Quick character. Cost 3 power. Slightly better than low healing or lesser healing. I got sense traps. Guides you past dangerous deadfalls without tripping the traps. So it's like light except it detects traps. Lasts 2 hours per point you spend on it. Renders Cloak Arcane, renders the party partially invisible, diverting the light around you and the force of your opponent's blows. +2 to armor class, entire party. 1 point is 1 hour. Oh, okay, okay. And the number of points you can spend on it depends on your skill in the school of magic. So in this case, high magic. Pick up firelight. Oh, yeah, I picked up firelight. It's again, it's not an item. It's not like a magic torch. It's a spell. Then I picked firelight on Targ, I think. I tell that to my light, reveal timer, cowardice, scar. Okay, okay. Boy, a lot of good stuff in this slave camp, isn't there? Let's see, Theb, firelight, to chain armor. Add on. It's currently AC 6. 7. Needs a scale armor now. Theb does. Theb has scale armor on. Cheetah? Why not? If he can, it's 12 strength. Might not be able to equip. Again, Brigadine that I firelight. Chain armor, Warhack, broadsword and scale armor. Ruby dagger and scale armor. Dragon stones. Arrows, Brigadine. Spare armor sets. I need to find some place to sell all this stuff, apparently. Okay. Well, I was not expecting to find a whole big cache of high magic and one druid spells, but I did. That's great. Your moans of pain from inside the building. Oh, nice. Maybe we can do something about that. Fire pit. A wounded man lays in a pile of straw in the corner. His bandages are fresh but already stained with blood. He tosses and turns in a feverish slumber. Okay, well, let's heal him. Bandage him. Paragraph 19. Da-da. 19. After about an hour, the sick man's fever breaks. He props himself up on one elbow and smiles. I was dreaming, he says in a weak voice. I imagined I floated on a vast black pool far beneath the earth. I think it was in the underworld. I saw a goddess bound in chains, stranded on an island guarded by monsters. He laughs. I guess I had a fever. The man tries to stand up but finds he's still weak. You help him sit up. My name is Olm, he says. I guess I have you to thank for breaking my fever. The guards at the bridge beat me up, and I just can't seem to bounce back. Intrigued, you urge Ohm to continue. I escaped from Purgatory through a secret door in the wall. I tried to cross the bridge north of the city, but I didn't have the right papers, and the guards beat me. I've been coughing blood ever since. Ohm's eyelids begin to droop, and in minutes he's asleep again. A moment later, his body stiffens, and Ohm dies. At least his final moments were pleasant ones. Yeah, they're sweet. It's okay. Good to know. God is bound in chains in the underworld. Also, I guess you need citizenship papers to get across the bridge, or the guards will beat you up. That did happen to us. Did get beaten up by those guards. All the man had in the world. Oh, we're also taking his stuff. Sure. Got greater heal and sunstroke. Okay. Then it's greater heal. It's greater heal. Those both sound like sun spells, I think. So let's see. Both with cheetah. Taking his spell scrolls. He would have wanted us to have them. Item. Earns greater heal. And learns sunstroke. Great. Else. Just mark this on my map. And okay. All the way across to the other edge. You can't fire ahead. So we're currently of that splash. Another paragraph. Campfire here. One thing I do wish the grid cartographer had was a bit more variety in this it offers you. Is there anything that looks like a campfire on here? I think there is space for custom stuff. I'm sure I can find a nice set that's together somewhere. Download them, import them. I should do that. It's here. Fire. It's paragraph 60. Several people are huddled around a fire. One of them offers you some stew, which you eagerly accept. It's bland and watery, but it's the first hot food you've had in days, and you eat every drop. After your meal, you doze off by the fire, grateful to at last be in the company of charity and goodwill. When you awaken, you feel as if you've been reborn. How nice. And heals my wounds. All right. 2, 3, 4. Should be one more to the campfire. I took something off. Or put the campfire in the wrong spot, maybe? Did. Okay. Fire shoot there. Okay. Much better. paragraph 88. Eight. Big one. Within this building, you find a group of old men gathered around a table. They're playing dice and speaking rapidly to each other in a dialect you can barely understand. You are noticed and welcomed into the game. The men play for the joy of it. There's a complicated wagering system involved, but no money ever changes hands, and the men don't seem to care if you're rich or destitute. After a while, you begin to make sense of their speech. It seems these men are residents of the Dilmun interior, displaced to this island of outlanders by war and oppression. From them you learn a little of recent events in Dilmun. Dilmun interior consists of several large islands, each of which is dominated by an autonomous city-state. Warfare has been frequent between the rival cities, but no single nation has ever been able to rule all the others. Each city keeps a dragon captive somewhere within its walls. If total disaster ever threatens, the dragons will be let loose. This would almost certainly lead to the destruction of both sides, but it serves as a deterrent to conquest. Okay, so dragons are nukes. Recently, the city of Kingsholm launched a bid for empire. Kingsholm's imperialism was aided by the sorcerer, Namtar, the beast from the pit. Thanks to Namtar, all magical opposition was quickly overwhelmed. Kingsholm made rapid gains. For some unknown reason, the conquered cities never launched their dragons against Kingsholm. The youngest of them arrived at the camp just a few months ago. So far as he knows, nearly all of Dilmun's cities have been conquered or lay in ruins. The city of Byzanopol on the King's Isle remains free, although it has been under siege for several months. Yet he also mentions a city called Freeport in the Eastern Isles, but his companions scoff when he does, saying Freeport is more myth than reality. Nevertheless, the young man asserts he'll find Freeport someday, as soon as he can find a ship bound for the Eastern Isles. Since the war, very few ships travel the interior waterways, and it has become increasingly difficult to use Dilmun's bridges. Okay, maybe we want to get to Freeport. Dudes, we're just playing a friendly game of cards and talking about how uh, maybe Freeport is still free. Building there, there. Flash. In here, paragraph 22. Okay. Sure are a lot of paragraphs here in this. Paragraph 22. This shack has been set up as a universal shrine for Dilmun's many religions. A priest welcomes you and escorts you around the shrine. The majority of the shrine is devoted to Irkala, the queen of the underworld, and her consort Murgle. The priest explains the worship of underworld gods has always spread during times of strife, perhaps because people come to view their own world as an extension of hell. Also represented is the man-animal Idu, patron of the druids, and the obscene Rafik, god of things better left unsaid. The priest lets you worship or observe as you see fit, neither condemning nor encouraging your actions. They're hard times, he says. You had better pray to them all. We can use all the help we get. Okay. Good. Should I pray? Item has no use here. Spirit. I don't know if there's actually anything to do here. Knowledge. Bureaucracy. Didn't do any good. Spirit. Magic. Didn't do any. I don't think there's anything to do here. I think that's just flavor. Maybe not. If I go north from here, are we at the northern edge? Yes. Hey, hey, we believe again. Okay. So here's the slave camp. I forgot that one. F-22. Yeah, we found some stuff. We get healing down at the campfire or at the uh, mine. So we have the slave camp. If you wash up on shore, you go to the south side, go through stuff, you find a bunch of treasure. Your magic skill to get the magician to give you stuff. You find this locked chest here with some more stuff. Guy here has some more spells for you. Get healed. You can learn some Fruit Louis. Whole party is 6 people. Actually, party we can have up to 7 people. Anyway, now we're back in Dilmun. That okay. Let's continue to explore Dilmun. Flash. On wrong. Okay, more like, yeah. And we can go back to Purgatory. Fine, no. I don't need to go back to Purgatory. Maybe someday I'll want to go back to Purgatory. If only just to that portal to the Underworld. Door on the side of this too. There's the bridge where the guards beat me up that one time. Swim across this river. I could swim like all through the harbor, but it's too much. Hidden away beside this rock is an arms cache. That's okay. Uh, they're not shy about giving me a bunch of stuff. Arms cache. Wait, what's in here? Chain armor, broadswords, hand axe, brigadine, bow, arrow, mage fire, charm, luck, lesser heal, mage light, dragonstone. Okay. Um. Okay. Stab, take the chain armor. And also those broadswords. The hand axe too. Cheetah, take bow, arrows. Um, go ahead and grab spells that I don't need. Can't carry any more. Okay. My inventory's getting a bit bloated. Definitely to find a shop. I know where there's a shop. Ebb. Straight to chain armor. 7. Attack is down to 4. Using unwieldy items and heavy armor. Fine. Fine. AC 7 is very good. AC in this game reduces the damage you take from attacks. Like defense value is your chance to avoid an attack entirely, dodge, and it's increased by having a high dexterity. AC is just straight up damage reduction. If someone hits you, you take that much less damage. And higher AC items as well as stronger weapons can reduce your defense and attack value. Your attack value is an increase to your chance to hit, basically. There's some trade-off going on, but also I would rather just wear stronger armor. Flash. door here. Like this little building hanging off over the water. Enter the slave estate. Not right now. Got a slave camp and also a slave estate. Nine here. Slave estate. What what fun place is this one going to go to? The ancient ruin. No. Ancient ruin. Okay. Okay. Now I do have 2 sets of citizenship papers. Do I need a set for everyone, or is it going to be? Okay. Look, boys, training time. Fight, quickly fight, run. Okay. They got Cheetah. Let's bandage him up. Mostly healed. Item. Citizenship papers. Item has no. Fight them. He can't attack from the back row with his pole arm. They're pretty tough. Only one left though. Might actually win. Yep, I won. Guard bridge ahead. Approach. Sure. Paragraph 12. Just ahead you see a bridge. The bridge is covered in armored doors. Far the way across, the bridge appears to be the only way to cross the water and reach the land beyond. A pack of guards lounge before the entrance to the bridge. As you appear, they snap to attention. A guard with a narrow forehead and small eyes approaches you. Good for him. Okay, so now citizenship papers. Item has no citizenship papers, right? Item has no. Found guard bridge now. This was also a teleportation to another area, I guess. Leave the bridge. Okay. So I beat up those guards. They didn't care about my citizenship papers. Okay. Teleporter. Just a little hub zone, apparently. Guard bridge. I just want to go heal at the healing fountain. Slave camp. Save my game. There we go. Quicker than casting healing spells a million times. Okay, and those guards who want to practice on me are not back. 12, one I just read. Yeah. So, guard bridge. I imagine. Two, three in that direction. So up to get our encounter. Guard. Guard at the bridge demands to see your citizenship papers. Guard examines your papers for a long time, but finally must admit they are in order. You get the distinct impression the guard does not like you. After conversing with his fellows, he returns your papers with a broad grin. All right, you can pass, he says, after you pay the toll. That will be 60 gold. Pay it? I guess. You may pass. Wonderful. Written on the stone is to restore the master of high magic. The various pieces of his body must be found and returned to the city of the yellow mud toad. Okay. Thanks for the hint. To restore the master of high magic. Various body Must down. Weird place for that hint to be, but okay. Behind this tree is an arms cache. Thanks. Here's a bladed flail and a shield. Sunlight. So, cheetah probably wants sunlight. Cheetah can't. Zeb also cannot carry any. I am bloated. Up in this corner here, it's. I think I'm exploring all the tiles. Arms cache. All right. Read paragraph 13. You're in the middle of the bridge. Although the bridge is covered, you can hear water rushing beneath. It is astonishingly loud. The bridge is longer than it appeared from the outside. You recognize now that even a good swimmer would find it impossible to swim from one island to the next. This bridge is the only way across. Say so. Shows there being fences there on the map, but you can just walk through. The bridge is too long, but okay. Nothing on. Now we're in Dilmun again. Now we're on the other side of that bridge, back in the Dilmun screen. The guard is surprised to see you. The land on the other side of the bridge is lousy with outlander thieves and heathens. Says, are you sure you know where you're going? Sure, of course I do. Paragraph 12. Have I read 12 before? Yeah. Sure, of course I know. Demands to see your citizenship papers. Okay. You may pass. Namtar be with you. Okay, so we need to show our citizenship papers every time we pass through that, apparently. Okay. I found like a bladed flail, didn't I? That bladed flail. I'm sure it's better than our war flail. Well, it's more expensive. Doesn't it does more damage. Maybe it attacks more times per round. Has some other effect that isn't did on. There's a group of goblins awaits for any Dilmun stragglers. Okay, I guess we're just fighting goblins now. Okay, the goblins are kind of tough. Okay, we won. Definitely took some damage though. Got most of his HP back. Okay, here I am in Dilmun somewhere. Maybe I want to go back and explore some of those other areas, like the slave estate. Maybe I can lead a little slave revolt to the ancient ruins, perhaps. I don't know. I definitely want to start selling off some of this garbage I've been picking up. And the only store I know of so far is that store back in Purgatory. So maybe that's where I have to do, where I have to go, what I have to do. This is probably good enough for today. I've been poking around. We finished off Purgatory. There's still stuff in the Underworld to explore. I've gotten quite a few upgrades for my gear. Chain, ar chain armor for a lot of people, scale mail for the rest. I've got some upgraded weapons, except for Theb. Theb is still using his basic broadsword. I'm sure we'll find a better sword for him eventually. Cheetah and Elendil have a bunch of high magic and sun magic and druid magic spells now. Louis exists. I should probably put him toward the front. He is more of a melee character than my casters. Do that here. Muscles, Ulrich, Feb, Louis, and then Cheetah and Elendil. Save the game here. Great. So next time, I don't know. Like, I guess Dilmun is the exterior, where it's how we maybe get to other islands. So let's bring up the manual here and take a look at the map. Here it is. We started off here in Purgatory, right? So we got out, and here's this bridge that goes up to the Isle of the Sun. I guess we're on the Isle of the Sun now that we're across that bridge. And Phobos should be up over this way. There's also the Forlorn. So yeah, we did find the entrance to the ruins. There's also that slave estate. I guess that's where we'll head next. Maybe the slave estate is where Mog takes you if you sell yourself into slavery. Maybe that's where he puts you. So yeah, next time, I guess I'll probably head back to Purgatory and sell off some of this stuff that's bloating up my inventory. A bunch of like useless spell scrolls and old weapons and armor and stuff like that. Get some money, and we'll check out the slave estate and possibly the ruins next time. Maybe that's what we'll do. And maybe we'll explore some more of the underworld too while we're at it. But hey, until then, stay safe, have fun. Thanks for watching. And if you come across a bunch of escaped slaves, don't just murder them all. That's bad. Instead, use your bureaucracy skill and make friends with them, and that way they'll like give you stuff and be happy with you, and you won't feel bad for having murdered them all.